Update 2 on Tropical Storm Nanmadol, which is in the East China Sea right now with winds of 65 miles per hour and a pressure of 985 millibars. At 3 p.m. UTC July 3rd, it was at 30.1 degrees north, 126.7 degrees east. There is a typhoon warning in effect for one small part of Japan off the coast of Kyushu. The rest of Kyushu, almost entirely, is under a gale warning. We expect that the storm will flirt with typhoon status. Whether it will get there or not remains to be seen. It's looking more like it won't now, and weakening will occur when it nears Japan. It will move over the islands over the course of the next 48 hours. It will be fast moving all the while, and then it will move right out to sea there by the end of day 3, and you could see how quickly it was moving there. Right now it's 234 miles south of Jeju, South Korea, 252 miles west-southwest of Kagoshima, and 261 miles southwest of Nagasaki. It's a stage 1 on the CDPS scale because of its fast movement, but it will have some significant wind speeds, particularly in the eastern side of the storm. So this is what we expect the system will do over the next few days. In day 1 you can see it moving over Kyushu, over Shikoku and over Honshu, moving very close to Tokyo into Wednesday, and then as we enter Thursday it will move out to sea and far away from any other land interests. In the extended forecast it appears that this system, obviously after turning post-tropical, will end up somewhere in the Bering Sea next weekend. Looking at the sea surface temperatures right now, it's on the very edge of the warm sea surface temperatures, and they will decrease under the 26 Celsius threshold very soon indeed, and that's why we don't think it will become a typhoon anymore, but it will get close, and then it will move through Japan there, and sea surface temperatures will not be up to par. Wind shear is also marginal. You can see to its north over the Korean peninsula, wind shear is very high indeed, but right now where it is, it's fairly low, and it'll be entering a moderate area later. And this is how it's been progressing on the satellite imagery. You can see how it's a very small system, always has been really, and you can see it's been trying to get its eye sorted out there. It has had an apparent eye since it passed through the first Japanese islands actually, but despite that it's not managed to reach typhoon status and remains a stage 1 on the CDPS scale. And as you can see, it's getting fairly close to Japan now. If you look at the system itself, it's smaller than the island of Kyushu when you look at it, probably not even 2/3 of the size of Kyushu, so that's what we're looking at here. Usually systems do end up being larger than that particular island. Elsewhere in the tropics though, we've got Invest 94L in the Atlantic, which formed earlier today, and the latest you can find on Force 13's SUSE page, the Storm Early Warning System. You can also find that via our social mediums on Facebook and Twitter, and you can see the system here slowly moving towards the west, fairly disorganized. We expect it will pick up pace later this week and could become a tropical storm towards the end of the week. Obviously the next name in the Atlantic will be Don. So let's take a look at the latest numbers then. Obviously no change from yesterday if you watched the first update on Nanmadol. 2 depressions, 20 tropical storms, 4 category 1s, 1 category 2, 2 category 3s, 1 4 and 1 5. And there you can see how it compares to the averages from 1960 to 2016. Still some way to go, and you can see how we're a little bit lagging on the more intense cyclones this year, certainly. 29 tropical storms have formed so far this year, not too far from 1900's 31. Obviously observations weren't so good back then, but it is still the quietest start to a year, the quietest first half year now since 1954 in terms of ACE. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.co.uk, at your service at any time with its tracker. You can also find us on YouTube, search Force 13 if you're not there already, subscribe if you haven't. You can also find us on Facebook and on Twitter, search Force 13 all in text to find us on there. You can also add Fool13 on Skype, that's FOOL13, and add extension 9094 on Discord for tropical weather chat.